everyone, and welcome to episode number 39 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafty shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It's another gorgeous autumn day here. It's in the upper 60s. It's a bright, sunny, clear day. A little bit of a breeze. Very little bit of a breeze. Just absolutely gorgeous out. It is the 7th? Yeah. It's the 7th of November. And it's gorgeous, gorgeous weather. So happy to have this fantastic weather out. The hubby and I are going to head out this afternoon. We're going to go check out a new coffee shop in a town just down the road. We have some things we need to drop off at the Goodwill store, and then I'll look around there and see if I find some yarn. Once in a while I find some yarn at the Goodwill store. I'll see what they have and if it's something I like or want. I don't need more yarn. Like and want those are the key things there. So anyway, if you're a new viewer here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And let's get on with the show. I think it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode today. I only worked on one project this past week. If you've been following me for the last several weeks, you probably know exactly what project I'm still working on, that I'm still behind on. I'll eventually finish it. I will. It's a slow slog for me, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but it's taking me a while. We're up to nearly 500 stitches per row. It's taken me some time. Anyway, we're talking about my slipstravaganza shawl, the mystery shawl by Stephen West. I started this back in the beginning of October, nearly a month ago. I think the first clue came out on October 9th, and subsequent clues came out almost each Friday after that. We've got a total of 5 clues that came out over 4 weeks. Noisy traffic. Anyway, so 5 clues came out over the course of 4 weeks. I'm about halfway done clue number 3. Anyway, the last clue came out in the end of October, and I'm still on clue number 3. But I knew right from the get-go I would fall behind. I always do. I'm never able to keep up with a shawl knit along. There's just too much knitting to complete in a week, with having to work and do things around the house and other life things. I can't keep up, and that's fine. I don't pressure myself. I know right from the get-go that I am not going to keep up, and I'm perfectly happy with that. Why is my shirt so crooked? Seriously, why is this? This is so crooked. Maybe that's why it was on sale. I bet that's why it was on sale. Anyway, back to talking about the shawl. So this shawl, again, it's patterned by Stephen West. It's a mystery shawl knit along, and there are multiple clues that came out and multiple sections. I think there's right now I think there's a total of 6 different sections, and I'm 1 row away from finishing section 4. Yeah, section 4. So anyways, for this one I used 3.25 millimeter needles, or US size 3. I used Holst super soft yarn in 4 different colors. Let me grab those for you. So here's my 4 colors. So Holst super soft in pineapple, sugar snap, geranium, and carmine. So I've got these 4 colors in there. So my main color, and then 3 contrasty colors. And I'm almost finished the pattern suggested buying, for this particular yarn, suggested buying 3 skeins of the main color and 2 each of the contrasting colors, just to make sure you had enough yardage. I am almost done the second. I can't show it to you now because it's way over. Come back here. Let me try. Let me see if I can get this picked up without rearranging the tripod too much. So before this ran away on me, I was going to show you how much. Oh crap! I made a knot. Clear. Anyway, so before it escaped on me, I was going to show you that this is what I have left of skein number 2 of the main color. I'm still working on skein number 1 of each of the contrast colors, so I might not actually have to break into the second of each of those skeins. We'll see. I have a second one in case I need it. If not, no big deal. It'll get knit into something else. Absolutely. So what else was I going to tell you? This is really disjointed. I'm sorry. So I'm on clue number 3, almost halfway through clue number 3. So clue number 3 there's 2 very different things that you're doing. And I have 1 row left to do on the first part of clue number 3. And I'm hoping to get clue number 4 done up fairly soon. And then I get to move on to the final clue. So let's take a look at what I've accomplished so far. So I don't know if they really request spoiler alerts on these as much now that the final clue has been out for over a week, 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? And maybe it's been out already 2 weeks. Anyway, if you're still working on this shawl and you still want to keep it a surprise and you're even farther behind than I am, look away and I will put a little blurb up here to tell you when it's safe to look back again. So if you are keeping this a mystery for yourselves, look away while I show you where I'm at on this. So right now it's a really scrunchy bunchy mess on the needles. And here's where we are now. So I finished this portion since last week, and I've added, oops, here comes an ambulance, hang on. All right, ambulance is gone. So this is the most, or almost the entire of the first half of clue number 3. I have 1 more, I have to purl all the way back on this row in the main color, and then we start the second half of this clue, which involves a whole boatload of short rows and gets you set up and established and ready for the final clue. And so here's where we're at, what the first half of clue number 3 looks like. And I made a lot of progress since last week. Last week I was down here where this pink marker is. So I finished up this main color, the light pink, and then so I finished off the last repeat of the second clue, and I've done the first half of this clue. So I made a good amount of progress. So if you're looking away because you want this to remain a surprise, I put it away. So I've made a good amount of progress on this, and hopefully I will finish the second half of the third clue in the next few days. I'll have to make sure I have time to really sit down and focus and concentrate on working on that clue, because for the first part, because it's going to be setting up a whole bunch of short rows. So I'll need to make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing and pay attention to what's happening with those short rows. And then once I get into the rhythm, then it's probably going to be a lot easier for me just to sit down and watch podcasts and happily knit along. I still have not looked at clue number 4, so I don't know exactly what clue number 4 is going to look like and how the different colors play together. The short row section is going to use contrast color 2, so that'll be my medium color pink. And I don't know what's included in the final clue. If it's all 4 colors, if it's the main color and contrast 1 and 3, I don't know. I'll find out when I finally look at it. So I am going to try to not look at that or not look at any of the spoiler pictures until I actually have completed clue number 3, which I really am hoping I can finish off in the next couple days. I really hope I can finish that off in the next couple days. We shall see, but that's my plan, is to really try to push ahead and get clue number 3 complete so I can get going on to the final clue. There's a slim chance that you might see a finished shawl next week. My guess it'll probably be 2 weeks before you see it completely finished, especially with where I have to soak and block the thing, or wash out the spinning oils in the yarn and get it blocked. So we shall see. Cross your fingers that you see it in a week. More realistically, it might be 2 weeks. And what else? Oh, I want to thank everyone for all the love that they showed me for all my Advent scarves that I showed off last week. I really do love, I was just looking over at them because they're just in a little pile over here. I just love all those scarves. So the designer for these Advent scarves posted the general rough information about what to expect for the 2020 Advent scarf, and I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be I know it'll be another fun project. And the pattern is going to be, or the scarf is going to be basically a modular scarf and different types and styles of mitered squares, I think. From what I understood from reading over the description. And it's going to use fingering weight yarn and lots of colors. It sounds like we have a lot of flexibility for doing a variety of colors. I don't know if it'll work as well using a single color. I haven't seen anyone in the Ravelry group ask that yet, but I'm planning on right now my rough plan is to use up a whole bunch of my leftover yarns that I've used for making socks. And mostly socks, some of them I've made into shawls. But I'm hoping that I can stick to using all of my own hand-dyed yarns, so that I know I'm using the same. Basically, I know that all the yarns are going to be not the exact same, but they'll be pretty much the exact same weight and thickness of sock yarn, because there is some variation across different brands of sock yarn and different bases of sock yarn. So if I stick to using all of my own hand-dyed yarns, I've used the same base for all of them. So there'll be a consistency, and there won't be some squares that'll come out a little bit smaller gauge and larger gauge than what I'm expecting. So that's the plan. I'm going to go rooting through my tubs of leftover sock yarn and see how much I have. I'm going to double check with the designer and see if there is a approximate, or double check the post she put if there is an approximate yardage, if there's information on the approximate yardage that we need for this scarf. The other thing I might do is I might take one or two of my bear skeins and break them up into either 10 or 20. Maybe I'll do one skein into 10 gram. I'll see if that'll work, into 10 gram minis, and then dye them a whole bunch of different colors. I might do that. But I'll take a look at what I already have. So the spoiler alert right now, it's going to be a lot of pinks, purples, and blues. Which is a lot of the colors that I dye myself. Some greens, but a lot of pinks, purples, and blues. Some grays. But anyway, that's what the plan is right now. So maybe next week I will have a lot more of those pulled out and kind of grouped together so we can see. She also gave us the instructions for doing a gauge swatch, which will turn into, if we want, can be used as the beginning of the Advent scarf. So I think I'll probably hold off on that for a little bit. I suspect my gauge will probably be fairly close. I'm going to have to double check on the needles. I think it was calling for 3.25 millimeter needles, which I have one set of those needles that are occupied right now with my mystery shawl. So we'll see. I probably won't do the gauge swatch quite yet. I'll probably do that in the next couple weeks, because the first full clue of the pattern won't come out until the 30th of November, late at night. So most of the clues I will find them the morning after they've been posted. So she typically posts the clues between 10 and midnight, 11, between 10 or 11 and midnight on each day, so that for people that are in Europe, they'll find it sometime in the morning. So for example, she'll post the first clue on the 30th of November, late at night. And so when I get up in the morning, if I'm not still awake at almost midnight, which I am usually nowadays, but it's an awful lot of noise coming out of this goofy looking little car. Anyway, so she posts the clues the night before, so that when you get up in the morning, you have the clue for that day throughout Advent. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. I absolutely love working on these Advent scarves each and every year. So, and I am looking forward to going back and knitting the 3 first ones that I missed. Oh, and the designer, she's such a sweetheart. She actually gifted me the first 3 patterns, so that I had a complete set. I'm just like, I can't make a heart. Is that a heart? I just thought that was the sweetest thing. I really appreciate that, Trisha. I really, really appreciate that. So I will be casting on those 3 scarves over time, and I will have myself a full, complete set. So otherwise, that's about it. Like I say, all my knitting has been focused on my one project. All the other ones are sitting there collecting dust, and I'll get to them. I'm getting closer to the Thanksgiving break, when I am going to have a really concentrated focus on putting a dent in all 4 of my work in progresses. Hopefully maybe there'll only be 3 by then. We'll see. But yeah, that's going to be a solid focus for my Thanksgiving break from work. And other than that, I don't think I know too much else new or exciting. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today, and yeah, lots of rambling I did today. I'm sorry. Welcome to my brain. Anywho, time to get going. I will let you go, and thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, I would love it if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, ring the little bell notification to find out when I post new videos, and take care everyone, and I will see you guys next week. Bye now.